table employee. So employee is the table name and employee ID is a column name with giving the data type varchar 30, giving some of the constants according to that. Same thing manner, employee name, I'm just giving the varchar. I'm also specifying the constraint, domains constraints, which is going to be not null. So employee name must be present, okay, must have the associated with that. So then only I will accept my database. Otherwise, if the missing value of the employee name, I cannot accept that value. It will be ignored at some point of time. Similarly, we can also check maybe unique and also the check and default, and with keys will going to be a little later, but we're going to be discuss the unique and check and consent with respect to the domain constants what we had. Yeah, let's also go with the check, domain constant check. So domain consent check basically defines a condition that each row must satisfy, which means it restricts the value. Okay, it restricts the value of a column between the range, or you can also say maybe it's just like a condition or filtering checking before the saving data into the column. It ensures that when a tuple is inserted inside the relation must satisfy the predicted given the check class. So let's take some example to understand much better, easier way of the domain constant check. We need to check whether the enter ID number is greater than or zero or not, the employee table. Yeah, you can see here creating a table with corresponding to the employee. We're just specifying with whatever we discussed in the not null value. Creating the employee ID is a not null, and check the employee ID is going must be greater than zero. Because what will happen at the end, you are working for a company, your employee ID may not be having the negativity, or may not be having the some special character. It must be unique with some of the times. So you have to check the employee ID is greater than or zero or not. So that you have to check. Whenever you check that, it will be true condition, it will be accepted. It will be false condition, it may not be accepted that values. So like that, you can use the domain constant to specifically mention. Like you can also use for the unique. So let's also go and understood how does that going to be works out with the real world data sets we are going to be used. So you can see we are on the page of sqltutorial.org, one of the famous tutorial kind of the thing. We can also play around by using the online platform and online resources command. We are going to be used so many commands. So I'm on the page of section 13 constraints we are going to be showcased. So let's then go and play around with the primary keys and also the foreign key and also the unique key and unique constraint and the not and also the check. So let's play around with whatever we learned till now is a unique key. Yeah. So you can see here, we have a unique constraint, domain constraint, which basically tells about whether you're going to be unique record or not. It may not be duplicate. Okay, it may not be duplicate at the time it's occurring as a duplicate, you cannot accept that one. So the unique is basically tells about the number of the constraints or number of the record may not be duplicate. You have to be distinct values according to that. Whenever you accept the some of the distinct values, then only it's satisfied and it's also give the good results at the end. Yeah, you can see here we're just using this basic syntax or basic kind of example to get to understand a unique domain constraint. So creating a table with corresponding the users table, I need user ID. It must be unique. Okay, it must be unique, obviously. And the username also, some of the cases unique, some of the cases may not be unique because some people having the same name with corresponding to the other. And also the password may not be unique, but it's still not null. Okay, it's still not null. It's also still not null. But I'm just declaring a username as a unique. Some of the cases, what will happen, username must be unique for to log in your pages or for to advertising your some of the information like confidentiality information. At the time, you have to use unique user ID and also the username. So yeah, this is the basic syntax. You can specify according to the which column you want to be specified. To create a unique constraint for a column, you need to add the unique keyword. That's it. So I can say unique constraints is basically helpers column constraint, whichever the column constraints you are going to add. If you want to insert or update, that value is going to be same as the one which is already exist in the username, and RDMS will be rejected that the change and the return of the error. It will throw the error. So yeah, you can take this example, maybe you will get some idea how does the unique is going to be very useful. So create a table users, user id, the data type for the int, auto increment primary key. This we can learn little later, but as far as you can see a user id where char not null, it will be not null. Okay, it will be not null, even password also not null. This is fine. Then what will happen, constraint uc username unique as a username. So you can see here we are just creating something with respect to the UC username. So UC username is going to be helpful and is also giving the alias corresponding to the username that must be unique. So you can write in the case of, you can put as a constant class in the end of your table. That is also fine. You can add by using whatever the information you're going to be provided while creating the table also. And you can also add existing table what you're going to be specified. So I have an existing table with corresponding to the user. I need to write this column must be unique, something called as username. So at that time I will go with this syntax, add constraint. Add constraint is going to be very helpful. Use username, unique username. Similarly, if I want to, yeah, obviously it's going to be alter the table you want to be modified. We already learned, right, creating the table, alter the table, delete the tables. So at the time of DML we already learned these concepts. And also alter table users, you want to be specified with respect to the constraint that must be unique. So if you want to add the new column before, creating the unique constraint for that, you can use the following form. Okay, so add new column, data type, and also the unique. You want to be specified by using alter. And you can also use maybe the unique constraint to the user table. Okay, by using the email ID or like that, any kind of sim. And also you can remove if you want unique constraint, you don't want to be present that unique constraint and again in the your table, you want to remove that, you can use the drop constraint, unique constraint name, alter the table name with corresponding to that. This is a very simple, you can, this is syntax and this is the example. Alter the table users, drop constraint, username. So I would say this is very helpful. Please go and visit this sqltutorial.org so that you will get some brief idea about whatever we discussing till now. Yeah, let's go and jump on to maybe another one is not null. So which is basically values going to be inserted, updated that may not be null. Okay. So we already discussed in our PPT. So let's go and see how does it going to be very helpful in the syntax way. So I'm just creating a table with corresponding some name, table name. I will go and be specified. And also I'm just giving my column name along with the data type. It may not be not null. It may not be not, it may not be not null. So if I accept the not null only, I will enter into the my values and check that constraint firstly. So yeah, you can see this is very simple example to understand.